Hi, this is Eddie Hearn and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here at the Origins Boxing Gym in Raynham. I'd like to be joined by Mr. Mark Tibbs, busy as always. Mark, firstly, good afternoon, mate. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming down and getting around Johnny Fisher, who's fighting for the Southern Era title, 12th of August, O2 London. Whyte Joshua 2.
Well, thank you very much for having us down here, Mark. We've just seen you put Johnny through his paces. Southern Area title fight coming up in a couple of weeks. Firstly, how happy are you with the preparation that Johnny's been doing throughout camp so far?
So far, so good, spot on. Still got a couple of sessions to go, as in sparring sessions. So, yeah, but we're happy how things are going, for sure.
I mean, you've trained so many fighters throughout the years, but Johnny Fisher has got a great following on social media. He's part of a very, very good camp as well here. I know you're working very closely with him. Just tell us what's different about Johnny to the other fighters that you've trained throughout the years, Mark?
Well, every fighter's different. They're all different. They've all got their qualities. There's no identical fighters out there. I mean, fighters that mimic styles and learn off of each other. But Fisher, if you ask me what's unique about him, it's his work ethic, his strength, and his energy, and he's willing to learn. And yeah, he's a lot calmer now, and you'll see that on the 12th of August. He's a lot calmer now, and by him being calmer, that means more control, and he'll know when to unleash what he's got to unleash at a certain particular time.
We are at the next phase in his career where he's going to start challenging for titles. Southern areas first, but do you think now is definitely the right time to start pushing Johnny up, especially if he can grab that Southern area in a few weeks' time, Mark?
Of course, you just said it. I mean, once and if he wins the Southern area, then it's always onwards and upwards. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure. And he'll grow. Listen, once he wins his first title, he'll grow. He won't realise, or his parents won't realise how much he's going to grow as a man, as a person, and that gets him onto the next level, the next ladders. You know what I mean? That's how it works. Yeah.
Okay, just moving on. Obviously, it's a packed card. The main event is definitely one to talk about itself. Yeah. Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte 2. Dillian Whyte, a fighter you know quite well. It's a must-win fight for both fighters. But given their last performances against Jermaine Franklin, how do you see the main event panning out, Mark?
Well, I really think that it's going to be a really good fight, because that concoction, AJ and Whyte, they've always had that rivalry. You know what I'm saying? So that's a natural. That if you think they're finished fighters, which they haven't looked brilliant, I must admit, they haven't looked brilliant. If this can't bring out the best in them, then you know what I mean. They've got to look at, you know, I shouldn't say putting their feet up, but you know what I'm saying. So I think they're going to really give us a really good fight, and I think it's a good fight. They're both going to. I think Dillian's going to like chuck the kitchen sink at AJ in the most bestest possible fashion. But I'm looking at AJ recently. He's in a good place. He's in a really good place, I must say, and I'm sure Dillian is too. So I think there's only the fans are winners. The fans are going to be winners, but it's a tough fight. I can't pick a winner.
It's Joshua's second fight under Derek James. I mean, how would you like to see him approach this fight? I mean, we've seen him try to box against Usyk. We know that there still is some power there, but what would you like to see him do in this fight with Dillian Whyte? How would you like to see him set up stylistically and tactically?
Well, I've got to say, my man. I've watched Derek James. I've met Derek James. I've had a brief conversation with him when he was in London. I like what I feel, what I see from him, and I can see the positive effect he's had on Anthony Joshua. So I can't say I've watched his work and this and that, but I like what I see, and therefore that's given us all us boxing fans hope that, you know, AJ's going to get back to where he was.
Talk to us about this young man that you've got here. Just tell us a bit about yourself, and when can we expect to see you next in the ring?
My name's Bartel, middleweight, 2-0, 2 knockouts. I'm fighting the day before Johnny at your call on a boxing social card against 7-3 opponent, and stepping up to 6 rounds and looking to get the rounds in, but also get the stoppage.
Joel Bartel, the beast, middleweight, good liver, man can fight. He fights like a Mexican man. right? Fights like a Mexican, punch with both hands, middleweight, 11th of August, York Hall, Boxing Social.
Which Mexican fighter do you think you're sort of similar to in the ring then?
Take bits from everyone. I really like Canelo, but overall, not a Mexican fighter. I like Hagler, like a bit of everyone, you know. Bartel style, personally.
Yeah, like I said before about fighters, there's no two the same. When I mean Mexican, he lets his hands go. He loves to let them go. He loves to punish. But we've got to get that old lead going as well for when he gets to championship level, like Johnny Fisher, the old left hand.
One final one before I let you go, because I know you want to get him in the ring for a workout. This Saturday night, undisputed welterweight championship of the world, arguably one of the biggest fights of the year. Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Guys, can you get a prediction?
Terence Crawford, tell him why.
Terence Crawford, he's smart, you know, he can do everything, counter punch, come forwards. I think he's just got a bit too much for Errol Spence. He's got that smarts, and I think he'll get to him and might stop him late.
And Spence, you don't see Spence beating Terence Crawford, Mark?
No, listen, I saw Terence Crawford. Listen, I'm not up to date with Spence, but I watched Terence Crawford in his gym, in a little old gym in Nebraska, around Nebraska area. Deep, warm and humid, old shed it was. Lovely little kids out. But I watched him about 4 years ago train, and then I watched him fight in Lincoln. Like him. But I can't keep my eye on everything, man. I've got my own life. I've got my own camp. You know, I don't watch everyone. I'd like to. If I'm involved and I've got to watch the enemy, then I'll watch him. But listen, I know he's a very sharp shooter and one of our pound for pound. And I'm backing Terence Crawford.
Where can the viewers find yourself on social media? We'll share some links in our description.
Yeah, so on Instagram it's just joel.bartel15. Yeah.
Joel, Mark, thank you very much for your time. Wish you the best.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. All right.